It's time to sit back and check out the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your hosts, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, pretty babies, what's going on? Lee Sanders with you all for the Saturday afternoon, April 19th, 2025. We are almost there, but officially it is Wrestlemania weekend. Hope your weekend is off to a great start. This is your NXT Stand and Deliver post-show, minutes removed from the event. Do have some polls up on Twitter and on YouTube. Wanted to know what you guys had thought about the event. So if you happen to seen it, definitely come in with the comments. Definitely interact on that poll. We'll dip our head, check out how that poll is looking later on. I know we got the WrestleMania kickoff that is on right now, but the official night one of WrestleMania does not begin until 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern. And then that's basically like, what is that? Like 4 on the West Coast or somewhere, stuff like that. Like, you guys got to forgive me because, man, I know a lot of you guys, including myself, we're still recovering a little bit from the Hall of Fame ceremony that seemed like it was never going to go off the air there, huh? I mean, that was wild, man. I can only imagine how many of y'all are just now going, hey, so what I miss, right? Because that's how long of a night it was. So, hey, NXT Stand and Deliver as far as the WrestleMania in-ring action goes. Gotta say, I dip my head into NXT these days. It's very infrequent because I have such a hectic schedule these days. And it just seems like every handful of weeks, I'm only able to dip my head in there, see what's going on with the brand, follow different characters, but my whole thing is there's a few I've had my eye on, a few talents I've had my eye on, and nothing pleases me more than when I'm able to go in. I'm remembering from one of the last times I saw them to see where their progression is and everything. So for me, going into this NXT Stand and Deliver, I definitely went into this bad boy pretty cold, not really knowing a lot about some of the story arcs going on and everything. So I definitely was relying on the video packages, relying on somewhat the things I saw last of some of your favorites that's out there and everything. Venue was at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway. We had Booker T, Corey Graves, and Vic Joseph. All of those guys, hey, hitting it out of the park. Although I got to say, there were times during Booker T's commentary where I could have just said, nah, you know what, I'm good. To the point I actually hit the mute button because it was just a little bit too much Booker T on my sandwich. I didn't need that much Booker T. I was okay with my mustard. I was okay with a little bit of salt, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit too much Booker T. Too much Booker T, not a good thing. Kicking things off, we had the NXT North American Championship as Ricky Saints successfully defended against Ego Ethan Page. By the way, speaking of Ethan Page, how are you WWE Supercard fans doing? I know that the developers decided to do a revamp of Boom, a game mode Boom, And rightfully so. Nobody was really interested in playing it. I mean, legit, you got some people that enjoy it, but then you got others that's like, I don't really care for this. The rewards aren't really, or they revamped the awards, and it looks like when you've accumulated certain milestone points, it all adds up. And if you're lucky enough, you get yourself the new WrestleMania 41 Balor rarity there of Ethan Page. Is that how we're saying the new tier? WrestleMania 41 Valor, or is Valor the tier? I kind of got it a little bit mixed up there, but it's only one tier that I'm aware of right now, not two tiers that's running around. That probably would be a little bit too much for some people to handle. You also get a cool Alexa Bliss card. But Ricky Saints, Ethan Page opening things up. So symbolic right here, right? Because we're talking about two former AEW talents that pretty much rolled out almost at the same time. Almost at the same time from the company. Here these guys are months later, WrestleMania weekend, after leaving AEW, in front of a nice, good sellout crowd there at that MGM music venue there, the music hall venue, opening up. Really think about that for a second. Not only are they really opening up in-ring action for WWE weekend, but they're opening up for this NXT Stand and Deliver. I mean, you just know those guys had to be on cloud nine. I couldn't help but feel really good for them and everything. I gotta say, good match by these guys. They did very well. If I have only one criticism for this match, it's the fact that it was relatively short. Not kidding. This match only lasted about 13 minutes, give or take, if it even lasted up to that point. And it really made you wonder, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? Now, there was a really weird bump that had happened where, if I remember correctly, Ricky Saints, he went into the announcer's table, and I remember the way he landed, because he pretty much came from the side ring ropes, apron and all that. The way he landed, he went into it pretty much knee and backs. It was a weird combination that had happened. And so you're looking at that spot wondering, okay, what's going on here? But as the match progressed, kind of seemed as though everything was on point. But rather short match, but overall, I thought for what was put into this match felt pretty traditional. And I think a lot of you guys that ended up seeing this match, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. It wasn't anything flashy. It wasn't, it was a dramatic departure from what we've typically seen of these guys, say on an AEW show, where, and look, I'm not crapping on AEW. To the point, I heard that AEW, they had a really, really good show this past Wednesday. I actually have it on the DVR. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I heard nothing but good things about Collision as well, but mainly the Wednesday Dynamite show. So I'm looking forward to seeing what was going on with that, because it was very well praised. But we know AEW's calling card when it comes to their shows, which is basically, okay, we're going to put two guys together. They're going to do a whole bunch of near falls. They're going to do a whole bunch of flippity flips and all kinds of crazy. It's just overkill. But this was just a bare boned, very mat based type of match, and it was intense, I might add. So when you got all of those great elements going on, and not to mention fantastic chemistry happening with these two guys, you're going to create some really good stuff here. Final moments of this matchup, Ricky Saints tried climbing up to the top turnbuckle. Back gave out on him, pretty much preventing him from seeking whatever he was trying to do. Page climbs up, Saints flips over, hits a stalling sunset power bomb, goes in for the cover. Nope. Then you get that confidence breaker from Paige, that ego's edge. That was a near fall as well, as Saints managed to continue to hang on. Twisted Grit gets reversed. Saints coming in with a spear. Finally, Saints connecting with the Rochambeau, picking up the victory to retain the North American Championship. So Ricky Saints continuing to go on pretty strong in his new day and age here as the North American champion. Looking forward to seeing what happens with the young man in the weeks to come. I will say, once you get done watching this NXT Stand and Deliver, you're definitely going to do like me and you're going to go, yeah, I definitely want to see what's going on this coming Tuesday on the CW. I definitely want to watch the next 2-3 weeks worth of shows, get an idea what's going on with some of these guys. Our next matchup, the NXT Tag Team Championship as Fraxiom. Say it with me, Holly. Fraxiom. My furry daughter's looking at me like, huh? Fraxiom losing the tag team titles after all these months. We saw a couple of near falls, a little bit of miscommunication here between, right? You're like, wait, what's going on? And finally here, it seemed like the Lady Luck finally ran out here on Fraxiom. They lost the tag titles to Hank and Tank. I've only caught glimpses of these guys from previous weeks. So this was really my first time actually sitting down and watching these guys. And I got to say, Hank and Tank, I am a big fan of these guys. Being the old school wrestling fan that I am, they remind me so much of the tag team Public Enemy. And if you know your wrestling, I think you'll appreciate that nod, and I think you'll definitely see where I'm coming from. You definitely will feel where I'm coming from, but they remind me so much of Public Enemy. 13 minutes, 14 minutes, give or take, that we had got new tag team champions crowned. From the little bit that I was following the past couple of weeks involving Hank and Tank specifically, this was one of those deal breaker kind of matches. This was either going to be okay, look, it's either now or it's probably no telling when the next opportunity may come, if it's going to come at all, right? So, great action, fantastic near falls that you had going on in this one. Hank and Tank, you just really came away going, man, big believer in these guys. Like, seriously, big believer in these guys. Love this. Crowd ate this matchup. I got to say, as far as favorite matches of this entire card, this one definitely is my favorite. I'm already thinking about least favorite, but hands down, just now, because you're talking with me or you're interacting with me, you're getting my thoughts minutes after the event is over. And as I'm playing all the matches back in my head, I'm literally going, nah, of all the matches, this tag match, my most absolute favorite here. Final moments of this one, Tank getting in here, getting the enziguri from Axiom, Spanish Fly from off the top connects, Phoenix Splash coming in there from Frazier. You get a 2 count there as Tank manages to break it up. Axiom coming in with his trademark kicks. Tank coming in with a big lariat on Axiom. Sling blade by Frazier, and then another Phoenix Splash, but that one misses. Black hole slam follows by Hank. Tank coming in with the suicide dives. Great, sick ass combination that we had going on there towards the end. Hank and Tank ripping off their shirts, getting fired up. They were feeling it, connecting with the double splash, then the assisted power slam, the 1, 2, 3. Hank and Tank becoming your new NXT Tag Team champions. Look, I thought it was interesting that after the match was over, it wasn't even, I don't even think 15 minutes And Axiom posted this really cool thing on social media. It's from one of my favorite comic issues of the Amazing Spider-Man, and it's basically when Spider-Man decides, okay, you know what, I'm done. I'm done being Spider-Man. I'm not doing this kitty stuff no more. I'm gonna go live my life. It's time for me to grow up. And you know the scene that I'm talking about, as he pretty much ditches the costume in an alley. He's got like this yellow, funky looking jacket on. Maybe it's supposed to be a light brown jacket. When you look at it, like, oh, that's a funky looking yellow jacket. He's got blue jeans on. You can just see the back of him as he's walking away from the alley, and there's the Spider-Man costume on top of a trash can there. Pretty much setting up Spider-Man no more and everything. Yeah, Axiom having his own little cryptic message in there where I guess he's saying, you know what, it's time for me to, now that this is over and done with, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to grow up. It's time for me to think bigger and better. And it's interesting because some of the reactions to that post, some people are feeling maybe Axiom is going to go heel now and all that. I think that remains to be seen. I think one thing is for certain. We're going to see probably Nathan Frazier say to Axiom, hey, look, don't forget, we got an instant rematch here for the NXT tag titles. We can do this anytime, any place. What do you say? Let's go ahead. Let's do this. And at that point, the question becomes, does Axiom go, okay, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do this? Or does Axiom go, no, look, the better team won. We ran our course. It was a great run. I think now we go do our own little thing separately. Can't wait to see how that pans out on Tuesday. But for Hank and Tank, the ushering in here of new tag champions, great chemistry those two guys have. Really, sincerely. And before anybody goes, oh well, you know they're brothers, and it's like sometimes that doesn't mean anything. Whether you are brothers in real life or not. Like sometimes we all that are veteran wrestling fans, we've seen it with our own two eyes. Not every single tag team clicks. But these guys definitely shades of Public Enemy. I'm telling you, man, shades of Public Enemy. Loving it, loving it. Meanwhile, Sarah Schreiber was with good old Penn from Penn and Teller. Every time I see Penn, he always makes me think of Mish. He always does. I gotta catch up with my buddy. Penn, of course, and Teller, they have been a long staple in Las Vegas for these past handful of years. They are always doing a show out there in Vegas and everything. I don't know how big of a fan you guys are of Penn and Teller. Not only do I hold them in high regard for their work as magicians, but I also hold them in high regard for obviously Penn, right? Penn is really the one that's the outspoken one and everything. I love that Showtime series that they did back in the day called Bullshit. I don't know if you guys remember that, but man, that was I felt a groundbreaking show. Felt that it ended way too soon. Way too soon. I always looked at that series and thought that is one that should still be around to this day. It's amazing. I kick back and I go, wow, Bill Maher still has his, but somehow Penn and Teller bullshit that like only ran for about 4, maybe 5 seasons at most. See, now that I'm talking about that, I gotta now try to see if classic episodes are maybe available through, and if it is going to be available, I guess what, Showtime app. I think Showtime's got their own app. I lost track. I don't know who's got what now. It's freaking crazy. Anyway, Sarah Schreiber chatting it up with Penn, as Penn is very happy to be there and everything. Lexus King interrupts as he has his Heritage Cup, and Penn tells him, oh, okay, so you don't believe in magic. Okay, well, let me just check out this Heritage Cup of yours. puts it into this steel cage. Drape gets put over it, and then like literally 10 seconds later, curtain comes up from over the cage, and we see Teller is in there. There's no Heritage Cup. So it's like, what's going on? So we got ourselves a little bit of a cliffhanger here, as that's pretty much going in Tuesday, as before the end of this event, King was never able to find out what the hell happened to his Heritage Cup. So little cliffhanger there. Meanwhile, NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match, Zarya versus Kalani. We're getting into it, Arion. We're getting into it right now. If you want instant spoilers, go to your favorite wrestling website. Go to your favorite wrestling website. Oh, no. See, I did you a solid. I acknowledged you. And you're not even my tribal chief. I already acknowledged you. So again, you can either go to a wrestling website and find out that way, or, whatever. So NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match. Zarya taking on Kalani Jordynne, Izzy Dame, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Thea Hale. This pretty much was a free-for-all. Remember, this match right here was to crown a new NXT North American Women's Champion. Remember, vacancy here, right? So this could have went either way. Sol Ruka becoming the new NXT North American Champion. About 14 minutes from what I saw of this match. Look, I'm happy for Sol. Sol is great look, bright career ahead of her, no shadow of doubt. Great moveset, hell of a finisher. I love the woman. Great stuff from her. Had a few more rough spots than I anticipated. I felt that this match was going to be a little bit bumpy once I got a really good idea of the participants, but I did not expect it to be as rough as I thought it was going to be. So this was really weird. This was really, really weird, man. But no, a few more rough spots than I anticipated. Dare I say it was actually a messy match as well. Some fun moments, though. Some fun moments when you can put all that to the side and you can really, it was fun. Very engaging. And, I'll definitely give it that. Also, the finishing sequence towards the end of the match. That pretty much, I know some people are kind of looking at the finish and going, ooh, I wouldn't say, let me put it to you this way. For how this finished, if it didn't play out the way that it did, I think I probably would be a lot more sour on this match, honestly. So, to my point, final moments of this matchup here. Zarya ends up catching Jordynne on her shoulders. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Now, I'm only going to say this one time because we had to do an immediate pause here. So if you're new to checking out the live streams, understand something. I have no problem interacting with any and everybody. Our motto since 2011 is keeping the show honest, insightful, interactive, and we've been doing that since 2011. So when we're talking a lot about some of the stuff that's happened with some of these shows, like if you watched it in real time, right along with me and everybody else, you're encouraged to interact. To the point, we tell you, hey, we got polls. We got polls on Twitter. We got polls on the YouTube channel. Let us know what you thought about it. We read comments, all that good stuff. But the one thing that I'm not going to do, I am not going to play up to just one individual. I'm not going to do that. We don't do that here, right? If you want to throw a quick hello, like I don't mind doing that. I've done that many times. Long-time listeners and even newer listeners, like I've done that. But the one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do this in a way where I am talking to only one person. when we do these shows, I'm talking to everybody. I am talking to the over 25,000 subscribers that we have stretched across all our social media platforms. I'm talking, and that's just for the webcast shows, honestly, mainly. But we're also talking about our audio listeners because we got people that check out the shows for on demand and on the downloads. And there's a lot of people that don't like the yakety yak bullshit, multiple call ins, all that. They just want to get the information boom, 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 boom. And that's how we do it. So I promise you this, because you will lose every time. If you come into our chat and you keep going, answer me, talk to me, uh, tell me who won. I want to know now. Gimme, 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 gimme. You're going to be ignored. That's not how we do it here. That's not how we do it here. If you're that pressed, you got my good friends over at the 401 Mania site. You got the good folks over at Fightful. You got Wrestling Inc. You got the Arcadian Vanguard. You got, I mean, my God, who isn't? You got Pro Wrestling Nerds and Tights. I just made that one up. But you got whatever website. You can even pull up Siri on your phone, your tablet, whatever device. Shut up, tablet. You even got Google, you got Chat GPT to find out instantly what happened. Enough said. Final moments of this matchup. Zarya ended up catching Jordynne on her shoulders, tossing her over the top rope, taking her out and everybody out onto the floor. Then we get a face-off with the ladder that went down between Zarya and Sol Ruka. They come in face-to-face at the top. Ruka coming in with the first blow. Both women continue to trade blows. Stereo headbutts followed up. Sol flips her legs up, kicks her away, skins the cat to the top of the ladder. Izzy manages to stop her. Sol snatcher to Dane from off the ladder and another to Hale. Sol climbs it up, retrieves the title. Nice little finish that we had go down there. Good stuff. Happy for Sol. Sol is definitely somebody I have watched for quite a while, off and on for quite a while. I like her progression. She's coming along very nicely. Very, very proud of her. Good stuff. Good stuff right there. I think the right woman went over with all the names considered. I think WWE went with the right woman. Don't forget, Gigi Dolin and Tatum Paxley. We're going to find out what's going on with them and who they're going to be facing for the women's tag titles and all that between who is it? Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Bailey, and Lyra Valkyria. All that will be resolved once WrestleMania weekend is over. We'll get that match on NXT, right? Just keep that in the back of your head there. Meanwhile, the D'Angelo family taking on DarkState. So look, let's be honest here. I got to ask you guys, were you all expecting for Stacks to betray the Don? If you had that on your bingo card, I mean, you saw this a mile away. You really did. You saw this a mile away. Now, granted, some people may have looked at this and they may have said, nah, I'm going more in the direction of the Don. Don is going to betray Stacks. No, you really stop and look at all the seeds there. Stacks, just play it all back. Seeds have been planted beautifully. Stacks has felt as though, okay, you know what? The way that Don is thinking, his way, no, it's an old way of thinking. His time is pretty much up. It's time for new young blood to come in. And, right, you think about some of your favorite gangster movies. It's a simple formula. You could easily see this a mile away. But if you had on your bingo card that Stacks was going to betray the Don, you definitely were absolutely right. Final moments of this one. Tony and Osarius, they're battling in the ring. Stacks manages to get in there, hand him a crowbar. Tony tosses it to the floor, says, yo, Not doing it that way. Nope. Sugars from behind takes them both out. He actually ends up tripping on the ropes, and to which Tony takes him out with a spear. From there, Tony kisses Stacks and tosses him over the top rope to take everyone out onto the floor. Don's now alone in the ring as Cutler has the crowbar, but the ref steps in, restrains him. Stacks now has the crowbar, takes out Sugars. Spine buster from Tony. Tony and Stacks. There's this big moment here. Okay, so are they finally on the same page? Because throughout a lot of this tag match, you can feel great friction. To the point, Tony was looking on pretty disgusted. Pretty fucking disgusted. Like, wasn't really feeling what was going on there with Stacks. And you were just wondering, like, is this going to be it? Are we going to see an implosion come down here and everything? Tony and Stacks ending up hugging it out. Tony turns his back. He's waiting for the betrayal, but Stacks doesn't do anything yet. It's kind of one of those wait for it moments. But then Stacks finally does. Kicks him in the balls. That pretty much was it. That dirty son of... Yep, nice low blow to D'Angelo. Stacks exits the ring. DarkState. I apologize. I want to say DarkSide so bad, but DarkState. It's a pretty cool last name for a stable, by the way. I'm thinking about all the times me and my friends from junior high to from junior high going into probably, man, I'm just thinking back to how long we were playing the WWE games. It's been a damn good minute. We've never came up with a name like that. We've come up with some really cool names for stables, but I've never heard of DarkState before. Like that, I think that name kicks ass. It rules. But anyway, DarkState coming in with a triple power bomb. 1, 2, 3. DarkState picking up the win. 13 minutes and change. I mean, look, this was one of those. Everybody saw this turn coming. I think from a storyline purpose, played itself out. Very efficiently. DarkState, I think they got themselves over pretty damn good. Sugars, I got to give him a lot of props. He looks like a freaking beast. Great energy. I'm loving what's going on with that stable. Loving what's going on with them. Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it rolling. NXT Women's Championship match. Stephanie Vaquer defending against Giulia, Jaida Parker, Jordynne Grace. This was really, Jaida Parker, show us what you can do and hanging with these other girls. I thought the way Jaida was booked in this match, I thought she was showcased extremely, extremely well. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. All the women in this match, they brought that fire. They all were cooking. Everybody looked good. But Jaida Parker, she looked like she belonged in this ring with the rest of these women, because you're just going, if you're following the experience level, you're going, oh, well, Jada's got, she's definitely the baby in here. She's the rookie one of the bunch. What the hell? But then as the match progresses, you're like, well, no, wait a minute. Jada's actually going in here and damn, she's looking like a freaking star. Every single time I have seen Jaida be given these opportunities, she has been crushing it out of the damn park. I've just been impressed with her every single time. And look, I didn't go into this match going, oh, Jada's going to win this. She has to. Like, oh, if there was a dark horse, like, I felt day one, Stephanie Vaquer, this match, her championship on the line, it ain't going nowhere. My whole thing was, okay, how's Jaida going to rise to the occasion? I already knew Jordynne Grace, I ain't got to worry about Jordynne Grace. I already know that girl, she going to freaking deliver. Don't need to worry about that. But what about these others? Like, what's going to happen with the other girls here? But Jaida really fucking delivered and then some. Man, I cannot sing enough praises for her. If ever to be an award bestowed upon somebody where you go, hey, here is the Future is Bright Award, and here's your nominees. Like, Jaida should be running with this, especially if you want to go, okay, are we talking about for the females and then for the males? Like, for the females, oh, hell yeah, hands down. She's winning that award. Make no mistake about it. And I don't have a problem. Now, I know some people are going to take issue with the fact that Vaquer had beat Jaida to retain the championship. I don't have an issue with that. For all the offense that Jaida was able to get in there, I mean, she looked like $1 million. She looked like a stud in there. I got no problem with the fact that, because look, you still got to do your due diligence in protecting Jaida a little bit. You definitely got to do your best to help out Giulia a little bit, which, by the way, the crowd reaction for Giulia, lack thereof, took me back quite a bit. I was not expecting that. I even posed a question on social media asking what's going on with Giulia here. Like, seemed to be a time where she was pretty popular, but now she's gotten pretty ice cold. What's going on here? I mean, there was barely any reactions for her whatsoever. But when Jordynne Grace came out, when Jaida came out, oh, they definitely got reactions. And yeah, hands down, no brainer. When Stephanie came out, she definitely got reactions as well. I love the final sequence that played out there between Jaida and Vaquer, where Vaquer struggled. She struggled to get Jaida in the finisher there. I'm trying to think. I can't think of her finisher right now. You guys got to forgive me. I'm talking about Stephanie Vaquer. I can't recall her finisher right now, but she tried attempting it twice. And the first time that she attempted it, she struggled greatly. And I'm glad that Jaida did not go ahead and lift herself up that first rodeo. I'm glad she took that opportunity to go, no, Stephanie's not ready yet. We got to try to reset this and do this again. And just very quickly, they both were able to readjust, particularly Stephanie. But then even at that second go round when Stephanie attempted her finisher, it was like, I just barely made it. But good stuff. Good stuff. Everyone, fantastic job. All these girls are going to go quite far. When I look at the women's division, particularly in NXT, and I just think about what's going to be coming down the pipeline to the flagship shows in the years to come. It's kind of one of those. It's kind of one of those deals where I go, yeah, I go, yeah, women's roster gonna be all right, yo. Like, seriously, women's roster gonna be all right. All right, from there, our main event match. We've done pretty good. We've been at it now for about 38 minutes. So if you guys are just now tuning in, we have been at this now, talking about NXT Stand and Deliver. Quickest damn recap. I love the fact that we're practically in and out of here. We're dodging an hour. We're doing better than what was going on with the Hall of Fame ceremony. Yay. NXT Championship, Oba Femi defending against Trick Williams, Javon Evans. This was our main event for Stand and Deliver. This should be a no-brainer. I mean, come on, Oba Femi retaining the title. Although, look, if you were kind of maybe looking at Trick Williams, hey, possibly a 3-time NXT champion, I wouldn't put it past you, but me personally, I felt the title was safe. It wasn't going anywhere. Always still just scratching the surface of his championship reign. Been at it now for a little bit over 3 months and everything. What I was more interested in seeing was how was the young man in Javon Evans going to step up to the plate here. Now, that was what I was more interested in. This was a match that I felt where it far exceeded expectations. Any expectations that I have, and I think most fans' expectations, those were greatly exceeded, over delivered, big time. Evans definitely made a name for himself. This 20-year-old kid, and I say kid with respect, bright fucking future, bright fucking future ahead of him. He proved to me that he definitely is on the right track, and that in the next 5 years, 10 years, there's no reason why he shouldn't be a WWE household name. Um, Everyone looked good in this, but particularly Javon Evans. He looked genuinely good. I love the near falls. I love the amount of offense, counters, uh, moves from off the ropes that Evans was able to get off in there. This was a pretty damn good main event. Final moments of this one here. Trick coming in there with the bookend through the announcer's table on Oba Femi. Trick grabbing Evans, shoving him back into the ring, followed up by a running knee, but inadvertently taking out the referee. By the way, speaking of the referee, I love the spot that went down there where the ref manages to jump back in and he's trying to go for a cover, but Oba Femi is just pulling at his leg. And the referee just goes, you know what? I ain't got time. And he just kicks the shit out of Obi. I loved it. It was a great little spot. I've never seen a referee do that before to anybody. So I love that. Uh, Femi manages to get in there though and save his title as the match had continued. And then a little bit later on, Williams, Femi trading blows, both men eventually coming to their feet. Evans coming from out of nowhere, double springboard cutters, hits a twist and splash on Femi. Williams takes him out. Femi coming in with the fall from Grace on Williams, giving another to Evans, securing the victory. Femi continuing on as your NXT World Heavyweight Champion, coming in at about 17 minutes, give or take. So Reina Obi continuing, I'm just looking into the future, kind of wondering what's going to be in the cards here for Oba. Trick Williams, this was his fourth time getting an opportunity at the NXT Heavyweight Championship. When is it a case where, okay, you know what? 4 times now, get to the back of the line. Like it's time for new blood. You just can't help but wonder, is that it for Trick Williams? Or are we going to see him one more time step in there and get another shot? And if so, what type of stipulation is going to be put on the line there? I'm looking at Oba and I'm thinking about the fact of, what other opponents could be coming down the pipeline here for him. And I can't help but think about Omaz. Remember, Omaz was doing his thing in Pro Wrestling Noah for a few months. And he said, okay, I'm done here. Gonna go on back to WWE. And we have yet to see him. So I'm just wondering what's going to happen here. Because one of my long-standing ideas has been maybe eventually we'll see this guy pop up as possibly a new member in Judgment Day. Like Dominic Mysterio somehow ends up recruiting him. But now people are going, Rusev. Maybe Rusev in Judgment Day. And, I still like the idea of Omaz. See what happens with that. But if not Omaz in Judgment Day, then maybe you do something where Omaz resurfaces in NXT and maybe he's the one that ultimately dethrones Oba Femi. I think that would be a very interesting matchup between those two. NXT specials, typically they deliver, although we have seen a little bit of inconsistency in past months. I wouldn't say that this was the absolute best that I've seen of these takeover events, especially when it comes to WrestleMania weekend and everything. But at the same time, there wasn't anything bad that I could look at on this card overall and be going, ah, like I can't even say to you, I would have done without this match. Like I can't even really, not unless you were to put my feet to the fire. But then even at that, it'd be like, okay, well, if you're going to force me, well, I guess I'll go with DarkState and the D'Angelo family. But no, overall, pretty good event. Again, my favorite match of the entire card, I got to go with the NXT tag title match. I got to go with Hank and Take versus Fraxiom. I got to go with those guys. I thought that was pretty good. Let's go to the polls now and let's see how you guys have voted. To Twitter we go at the RCWR show. So we got the same options that's on Twitter is the same options that's on YouTube, by the way. So right now I am seeing 12% of you decided that you're going to be skipping NXT Stand and Deliver. Meanwhile, 87% of you felt that it was an awesome show. Appreciate you guys that have voted via Twitter.
The latest in
Whoa.
professional wrestling.
Damn. I don't know what the hell that was about. Let's see what's going on with you guys on YouTube. YouTube.com/the RCWR show. Click on the community section. All right, let's see what's going on here. We got it loading up for you guys. And our survey says 33% of you felt that it was an average show. Meanwhile, 67% of you thought it was an awesome show. So appreciate everybody that had cast the vote there for that. We definitely are going to circle back later tonight after night one of WrestleMania is in the books and see where the bigger gauge is. Because I know that's like it was an early afternoon show because it started at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and then and I know the Hall of Fame ceremony threw a lot of people off. I know I had checked in with some of my friends and family. I know some of you guys were interacting with me on social media. Let me know I'm gonna go get some more sleep because I'm too tired. I'm not gonna watch NXT right now. I'll DVR it or I'll watch it later. Actually, you can't DVR. There's no way you can DVR, but basically you guys would catch it on the replay later on and all that. On demand, as they like to say now. So I will be curious to see where you guys are by the end of night one of WrestleMania, for sure. By the time we get to Sunday night, where things stand with you all's thoughts on NXT Stand and Deliver overall. But if you've never checked out the Stand and Delivers, I definitely would say to you, check this one out. I don't think you'd be disappointed from the in-ring action, honestly. I think if anything, you'll definitely come away going, okay, they kind of got my attention here. I want to see the next 2, maybe 3 episodes, see what's going on here and all that. But they set the table. Now it's on officially tonight one of WrestleMania, which reminds me, we're going to be here again later on tonight after WrestleMania night one wraps up. We'll be here live immediately following with our post show. So come one, come all. Get in there, sound off, all that good jazz. I want to know what you guys had thought about the event and everything. Be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search the RCWR show. By the way, we want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors as we're in WrestleMania weekend, because without teaming up with these great partners. Content like what you're checking out right now would not be made possible. Shout out to my guys over at Zool-World.com. Shout out to you dreamers, fighters, and go-getters. If you are ready to turn ambition into reality, you got to check out Zool-World.com, where hard work meets passion and the grind never stops. Founded by Buddy V, Zool-World.com is more than a brand, it's a movement. Whether you're an MMA warrior, an artist, or just someone chasing their dreams, Zool World is your home for grit, determination, and one-of-a-kind merch. From bold apparels to accessories that make a statement, Zool World is here to fuel your hustle. So check them out today, Zool-World.com. Love working with these guys. They've been a great partner. I remember when they reached out to me, several days ago. And I was like, yeah, like the listeners definitely, yeah, this is right up their alley. Yeah. So check them out. We're also brought to you in part by our good friends over at AIstudios.com. If you're ready to bring your creative vision to life, meet AI Studios, your ultimate companion in the world of artificial intelligence. At AI Studios, they harness the power of cutting-edge technology to delivering stunning, lifelike animations and custom AI-generated content tailored to your needs. AIstudios.com. Check them out. No credit card required. I know a lot of these AI sites these days, they are very big on, yeah, do this. Okay, you like that? Now give us your credit card. Like, these guys aren't going to do you like that. Also, shout out to the good folks over at ClaimMySETCRefund.com. I'm going to give that to you again. ClaimMySETC, as in Charlie, refund.com. You may be eligible for a refund of over $30,000 if you worked in key positions in 2021. That has to do with being a independent contractor. Let those folks help you find those breaks. There is no out-of-pocket costs. Tax season, it just went past, right? Well, they might be able to still hook you up there, because I know the original promotion that they had going on, nothing was going to cost you anything to find out if you did what you needed to do before the April 15th, 2025 deadline. But I definitely would still encourage you to get in contact with those guys, because it's better to be safe than sorry. Even if you end up in a position where you're going to be coming out of pocket, paying a little something, it's better than being in a position where, whoa, I missed all that money. Putz, what were you thinking? So shout out to all of these great sponsors. Love these guys. We're going to do this again. I got my water. I got my tea. I'm feeling it's slow. It is a slow recovery from my cold several days ago, but I'm slowly recovering. But that is going to do it for now. I will see you guys after night one of Wrestlemania wraps up. Until next go round, wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I'll see you guys next go round. Take care.